We welcome you to this broadcast of boys varsity basketball on NKTelco Sports. We are at Sidney High School where the Vandalia Butler Aviators will take on the Sidney Yellow Jackets. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Copeland Technologies, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, the Minster Bank, Pride Industries, New Knoxville Supply, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, and NKTelco. You're looking live at the Hive right now where the Vandalia Butler Aviators will take on the Sidney Yellow Jackets. My name's Brandon Coverman, and alongside me, Michael Laws. And Michael, we take a look at this matchup right here. The last time these two teams met on December 9th, Sidney won 53-33. Vandalia Butler, first taking a look at them, they start out hot. They were at 5-2. Ever since then, they've slid back to 3-5, hovering around that 500 mark. You got some really athleticism here on both teams. Both of them are really showing about this very similar records. You have Butler at 8-7, currently 6-5 in the conference in the Miami Valley League, and you have Sidney at 7-8 and 6-6 in the league. You know, Sidney started off red hot as well. They've been right at the top of their division, and Butler started off, as you mentioned, 5-2, started off really hot, but kind of simmered off. But a tale of kind of similar teams here. It should be a very, very interesting matchup, as I think you see a lot of similarities between these two clubs. Yeah, and Sidney dipped below 500, losing to Stebbins last Friday, and a game that they probably didn't play their greatest basketball, but they still have a one-game lead on West Carrollton in the Valley Division in the Miami Valley League, so that's something that they're going to want to keep a hold of here tonight. Absolutely, you're getting close to that vote, for the districts, to get that seeding and stuff like that. And this is where, if you really want to make a statement, this is where you really want to play some good basketball, and this is the time to do it.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Back here on NKTelco Sports, as we take a look at our starting lineups for Vandalia Butler. Number 0, a senior 6'5", Evan Abels. Number 4, a 6' senior Dion Oliver.
A 6'1" junior, number 20, Donovan Collins.
Number 20, Donnie Collins, a senior.
Number 23, Tristan Vandervoort.
Number 23, a 6' senior Tristan Vandervoort.
Number 30, AJ Holderman.
And rounding out the lineup, number 30, 5'11" junior AJ Holderman. The Vandalia Butler Aviators are coached by Mr. John Holderman. starting lineups for the Sidney Yellow Jackets, brought to you again by Emerson Climate Technologies.
A 5'11" sophomore, number 13, Jace.
5'11" sophomore, number 13, Jace Daniel.
A 5'9" sophomore,
5'9" sophomore, number 5, Julius Spradling.
A 6'4" junior,
6'4" junior, number 12, Mitchell Davis.
A 6' senior, number 3,
A senior sitting at 6 foot, number 3, Miles Bordemark, averaging 11.6 a contest. And rounding out the lineup, number 2, a 6'3" senior, Sam Reynolds. The Sidney Yellow Jackets are coached by John Willoughby in his 6th season in charge of the Jackets. And we thank Emerson Climate Technologies for sponsoring those starting lineups. Now let's take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza in Newport, Ohio. First, taking a look for the purple and gold of Vandalia Butler.
Yeah, talking to the coach earlier in the game, he talked about control the tempo. He needs to make sure they box out and they play simple basketball.
And taking a look here for the Jackets, trying to bounce back from that loss Friday against Stebbins.
Yeah, talking with John, Coach Willoughby, play a complete game. Make sure you have a good shot selection and play good team basketball.
Thanks to Keyhole Pizza for sponsoring those keys to the game in Newport, Ohio, as the tip between Abels and Davis is won by the Jackets, as they look to hold their part in the Valley Division. Here's Julius Spradling with the basketball. Goes up to Miles Bordemark. Right side, Reynolds. Butler in a zone to start. Got 3-2. Reynolds goes right side, Spradling. Back out to Jace Daniel. Daniel on the left side, and Bordemark. Back out Daniel. Go back to Spradling. Coach John Willoughby saying to be patient here. Willoughby out to Reynolds. Reynolds left side to Spradling. Back out Bordemark to Reynolds. Davis running that baseline there against that zone. Spradling on the inside loses the basketball to stay with the Jackets.
It's going to be very interesting to see this because Jace Daniel normally comes off the bench and replacing the injured Azon Steele, who's normally a starter, but unfortunately in warm-ups tonight.
And Butler loses the ball gets the ball on the baseline. Sidney turnover. For about a 50-second possession there to open the game.
Yeah, they were holding the ball well, moving it very, very well, and unfortunately came over the turnover, no basket.
Vandervoort with the basketball. He gives it up back over to Evan Abels. Abels goes back to Vandervoort, averaging 15.4 points a game, one of the lead scorers in the Miami Valley League, top 5, along with Sam Reynolds. Side Abels, back over to Deion Oliver. Oliver gives it up. Back on the right side. Vandervoort, Abels fakes a 3. Patient possession here by Butler. Here's a fire up a 3. It's off the iron. Long rebound down to Butler. Two very patient possessions here by each team to start. And drive on the inside. They go to the left side. A fire up a 3-pointer. No good. Reynolds skies in for the rebound. Reynolds working up quickly. Reynolds up ahead to Jace Daniel. Daniel, a 3 in transition. No good. Davis tips it out and keeps it alive.
Yeah, very patient here from both teams. Really trying to find their rhythm. I think, a lot of it was shot selection and just making sure that they get a good start here to this. And maybe they'll shake it off here on one of these possessions here coming up shortly.
Reynolds back out to Bordemark. Bordemark tries on the inside, trying to get it up to Daniel. It's taken away by Vandervoort. Vandervoort trying to navigate through the defense, gives it up to Deion Oliver. And a nice cut on the inside. Abels with a late foul call there. And Abels going to go to the line for 2.
Yeah, I don't know if that was really necessary. I don't even think he really had a good shot anyway, and I even think Coach Willoughby's even kind of getting in the referee's ear about that, just to say, hey, he didn't really have a shot and didn't really have much there, but nonetheless goes the line.
First free throw up and in for Evan Abels, the 6'5 senior, mostly senior-heavy team, mixed in with some sophomores and a couple of juniors, so a senior-sophomore team as Abels hits the second free throw.
Brought up Julius Rusk, number 35, as a freshman coming out. May see him off the bench here later.
Yeah, they saved him some quarters in that JV contest that Butler won earlier. As Vordemark goes on the right side of Reynolds. Sidney looking to crack the scoring column. 3 minutes in this game. It might come with a three from Reynolds. It's off the iron. Daniel gets the long rebound. Spradling to Reynolds on the inside. Reynolds lays it in, plus the contact for Sam Reynolds, and he goes to the line.
Yeah, nice move to find him underneath. Reynolds is just really kind of an inside threat, outside threat, can shoot. Took the three and gets underneath and draws a contact here and can get Sidney the lead here if he can make this free throw.
Reynolds at the line, cans the free throw. And Sam Reynolds with three and a 3-2 jacket lead. Jace Daniel breaks that pass up.
Nice read there by Daniel. Just not quite keep the handle there. And it's going to be very interesting too, because this is the second time around. You talk about these round robin. You're playing twice, and you talked about an earlier matchup with these two teams. So they've seen each other at least once. So they got a little bit of film to talk about, not only from earlier games, but also playing against them already once. So they've already got a feel and see how they adjust here in this second contest.
Listen to the ball there. Collins. It's up over to Vandervoort. Vandervoort being guarded by Spradling. Aviators going on the right side, goes over to Abels. Abels going to fire three, top of the key. And Butler still searching for their first field goal, as it's been an offensive struggle through the first half of the first quarter. Spradling up ahead quickly to Reynolds, to Jace Daniel, back to Reynolds. Quarter, Vordemark gets a shot fake. He takes it baseline, tries to draw some contact. Shot's no good. Reynolds with the rebound. Reynolds sticking with it. And Sidney couldn't convert there, but they get the steal right back. Davis to Vordemark, spins on the inside and scores. Nice move by the senior Miles Vordemark.
Yeah, way to find him. Vordemark's just always that scrappy guy. He just always kind of comes up with the shots when he need them, but Butler answers with the three.
Yep, Tristan Vandervoort, again, that lead scorer at 6 foot, nods the game back up at 5 as Reynolds on the left side. Reynolds back over to Vordemark. We got Vordemark and Vandervoort. A lot of V's.
Yeah, don't get a lot of V's in basketball, but you got them tonight. So, nice move. And a contact and a foul.
I'm going to say, count it right there for Mitchell Davis. And he went through that contact right there. A beautiful feed, a beautiful pass, too, to get it to him in the short corner there.
Way to find that. And that's Sam Reynolds who can do it all. He can, not only run, basically run from the outside, but drive inside and just be able to create that and find Mitchell Davis there to get now a 2-point lead, can make it a 3-point lead here with the free throw.
That's 2 fouls on Donnie Collins as he heads to the bench, and Davis completes the old-fashioned 3-point play. He's now into the lineup. It's number 3, Derek Motter. Motter with the basketball. He's up to Oliver on the left side. Oliver steps back, shot off the mark. Vandervoort gets the offensive rebound, goes up and under. And Davis just left a little crease there and let Vandervoort score.
Yeah, leaving him on the baseline, leaving that open, not good. But Reynolds, a nice feed, but can't get that. And turnover and gives the ball back to the Aviators.
And an 8-7 Sidney lead. 2:35 to go here in the first quarter.
It'll be very interesting to see. You've got a very, very large Butler bench, and we got contact on Reynolds there. But Butler has a very, very deep bench, a very, very long bench, only basically 3 substitutions for Sidney. We'll see how that goes, especially if we get into foul trouble here later.
And that's a good point to bring up there. And again, these teams met in December. It was a 53-33 victory for Sidney at the Vandalia Butler Student Activity Center over there, as the Jackets again lead the Valley Division despite being 7-8. They are an even 6-6 overall in the Miami Valley League, as the first 2 free throws have been missed there by Holderman.
Number 33, Wright.
Jalen Wright coming in, yeah.
Yeah, kind of short arming those a tad, and see if he may be able to get the stroke here, get the third. He does.
And yep, Holderman gets in the box score. Knotted up at 8. Here with 2:23 to go.
But yeah, you look at the Butler bench, you have almost 10 guys on the bench, and Sidney with only 3, especially with the injury to Steele as well. So keeping him out of the lineup, being in sweat. So we'll see how, foul trouble and things like that go off here. 3 by Reynolds.
Ooh, Reynolds off the mark. Another Jace Daniel offensive rebound, though. Spradling pulls back and scores. Julius Spradling gets in the box score.
Yeah, I think Spratling's going to have to pick it up, get that, because he usually gets that support from Steele. He's got to play with Daniels now, so he's got to kind of adjust his game a little bit and kind of go from there, but he was able to come up with that nice 2.
Ball goes to the top of the key. Reynolds applying ball pressure, clap in his hands. Down the inside to Motter, kick it out to Abel. He likes that 3 from the top of the key, and he bangs it home. Evan Abels hits the 3, and Butler's got the lead on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard.
Evan Abels now with 5 points on the 2 free throws, and now the made 3. So currently leading all Butler scorers at the moment.
Vordemark goes back to Daniel. They go on the inside to Davis. Back to Vordemark, who's going to fire a 3. Vordemark tries to get it right back, but can't. Butler defense gets a hold.
Yeah, it's going to be, you got a little bit more size from Butler on the inside. You got basically 2 inside threats, and the real only size you have for Sidney right now in the lineup is Reynolds, and he's been also doing the point. Yep, we got a push, and that'll be a foul against Motter.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't get more clear than that, and he extended the arm out there, and if he just uses his shoulder to back down, he has more of a chance to, draw contact and maybe score.
Yeah, that was just way too obvious. I mean, if you're going to do that, try to drive and make it look like more of a basketball move, but dead giveaway there, and
no doubt.
Definitely give the ball back to the Jackets there.
Aviators lead by 1 on that First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Daniel driving on the inside back to Reynolds. Reynolds on the inside to Jace Daniel. Puts it up high off the glass and scores. Jace Daniel in the box score. That's the 5th different Jacket to score this quarter.
Yeah, they're all spreading it around. They were talking about the team basketball earlier, and all 5 starters at least have a bucket here. So good news here for Coach Willoughby and the Jackets.
Vandervoort winding seconds of the first quarter. Vandervoort gets it up, gets it to Motter at the horn. Oliver high arcing 3 is off the mark. Sidney Yellow Jackets, after 8 minutes of play, hold on to a 12-11 lead. We'll step aside and come back with the second quarter of action here next on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County has a job for you. Grand Lake Health System has over 800 employees. Included is Joint Township District Memorial Hospital and multiple physician practices. And we're now hiring a variety of positions that fit all education and skill levels. Plus, you'll get a great benefit package offered to both full and part-time workers. Join this rewarding career and help your community in the process. Contact Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County for all your employment needs.
Welcome back here to the Hive at Sidney High School. The Sidney Yellow Jackets lead the Vandalia Butler Aviators 12-11. We'd like to remind you that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of boys high school basketball on NKTelco Channel 3 and HD on Channel 503. Gets the replays of this game Monday, February 13th at 5 p.m. and Saturday, February 18th at 8 a.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. So through 8 minutes of play, the Sidney Yellow Jackets holding on to a 12-11 advantage. Slow start offensively, picked up there toward the end of the first quarter.
Oh, yeah, it was like a couple minutes there. It was like about 3 or 4 possessions on each side. Didn't even have a basket for a while. Ball was out of play. I think it was off the – it did hit the ref, but I believe the ball was out of play anyway.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, as you mentioned, it was a couple of possessions on both sides. It was really almost about a minute on each side trying to establish it, and now both teams – somewhat getting into their rhythm here.
On the left side, Vandervoort for 3. Right in front of the Sidney student section. He's got 8 points.
Yeah, nice stroke there and nice confidence to step up there. Actually, a very long 3. Probably would have been good from college range.
And the last time these guys, last game that Butler played, they beat Greenville on Friday. So trying to get 2 wins in a row for the first time here in 2023.
Yeah, I had Sidney at Greenville here a couple weeks ago. Greenville had Sidney down by 20, and Sidney came back and had to claw their way back in, but they were able to get the win there over Greenville. Almost gave Greenville their first conference win.
Weak side rebound cleaned up there by Reynolds, and we're tied at 14 all.
But yeah, that was kind of going back to that game. Sidney really showed a lot of fortitude there, really coming back. They had a really, really slow start, but they were able to get that going away and missed that completely.
Oh. And Julius Rusk in the lineup. And Coach Holderman talked, when we talked before the game, mentioned, he gave me a roster and said, add this guy to the list. He'll play a little bit. Played very well in that JV contest toward the end, helped seal that victory for the Aviators as they won both the freshman and the JV game. They're going to try to get a clean sweep here tonight over the Jackets.
You don't see freshmen in the varsity very often, so he must be making an impact. We'll see how he does.
Vortemark a little up and under. He scores and gives Sidney the lead, 16-14 on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard.
Now get Vortemark up to 4 points, and as we mentioned, all 5 Sidney starters at least have some at minimum of 2 points. So good way to spread that around, and you have some good team basketball here for Coach Willoughby and the Jackets.
And it's one thing they really struggled with against Stebbins on Friday. Reynolds and Vortemark did a lot of the offensive load, but they've really spread it out. Again, trying to find their rhythm without missing usual starter A's and Steele. And it's a 2-point lead for the Jackets as they've been very balanced. As Rusk with the basketball gives it up over to Oliver.
Yeah, he's called out, or not called out, but actually like Julius Spradlin and just having that. Now we have a block, or we have a timeout. It looks like a timeout. I thought he called a block, but it ended up being a timeout there. But, we had brought that up, putting out Julius Spradlin, just talking about his shooting percentage and moving forward with that. So just making good shot selections and being able to, make those baskets.
All timeouts this year on NKTelco Sports are brought to you by Precision Strip. Some of our additional sponsors are Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Park National Bank, SecureCom, and the St. Henry Bank. Our keys to the game brought to you by Keyhole Pizza, our scoreboard sponsor, First National Bank. Think First. Our timeout sponsors Precision Strip. Our starting lineup sponsors Emerson Copeland. And our player of the game, which Michael and I will select at the end of this game from Sidney, is brought to you, as always, by NKTelco. So 5:29 to go here in the first half. It's a lower scoring contest, 16-14 here, but both teams just trying to find a rhythm.
Yeah, it was, as you had mentioned earlier, just a really kind of a slow start, finding the rhythm, at least shooting-wise, and maybe just feeling each other out, especially since they've already played once. And that 20-point win for Sidney in the first matchup, I'm sure Butler's trying to react to that and move forward and try to find good shots and make good shot selection.
Vandalia Butler, one of the most famous alums to come out of Vandalia Butler is Detroit current offensive lineman by the Detroit Lions, Taylor Decker, who played at Ohio State. Played on that national championship team just back in 2014 and is a current offensive lineman for the Detroit Lions. He's a former Vandalia Butler Aviator. Three-pointer by Spradling off the mark. Oliver, lay-in from Oliver, and he nods the game up at 16.
That's Deion Oliver's first points there for the Aviators.
Reynolds tries baseline. Gives it up over to Foster Wheeler, who's in the ball game, and Jai Foster Wheeler will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, nice feed to find him, but unfortunately it was kind of double-teamed, and Foster Wheeler didn't have a lot of room, unfortunately, but did draw the contact and was able to go to the foul line.
Jai Foster Wheeler at the line, scores, and gives Sidney the lead back. And again, we talked about this balance, and that's huge going forward. You know, a lot of teams are going to give Vordemark, Reynolds the attention. You know, Reynolds at 14.5 a game, Vordemark at 11.5 a game. That obviously pops out to the page, you know, when you're looking statistically at Sidney, but this balance has been nice so far for Coach Willoughby.
Oh, yes. That's what you got to look for, especially later on. You're going to need places where, you know, you get injuries, fallouts, whatever. That's really going to weigh well, and a nice rebound there for Sidney to bring the ball back the other way.
Reynolds goes left side over to Spradling, back to Reynolds to Jace Daniel. Side Vordemark, back to Spradling. And patience here for the Jackets. Reynolds back to Foster Wheeler, back to Reynolds. He loses the basketball. Stolen, taken away up to Vandervoort. Vandervoort lays it in and nods the game back up at 18.
Vandervoort now the leading scorer at 9 for the Aviators.
Spradling in the lane, contact. No good, no foul call. Good straight-up defense by Butler.
I think he was trying to draw it there, but I think that was a good no call and good with that. Everybody seemed to accept it, so that's good. And off we go and keep playing basketball.
Rusk goes to the right side. Moves it back up over to Vandervoort. Vandervoort to Rusk. His shot, no good, and Spradling fouled in the backcourt. That's going to be the 15th foul against Butler. It's going to be Rusk first. Said he played in that JV contest earlier.
Yeah, I think Sidney, at the moment, is content. I think he'll definitely want to see him warm up on the shooting a little bit later on here, but I think right now content is, especially with, like I said, with the short bench, you know, keeping this as it is.
Foster Wheeler goes up, shots no good. He gets his own offensive rebound. Back to Reynolds, who scores and gives Sidney the lead.
That'll bring Sam Reynolds to 7 points. Nice feed there from Jay Foster Wheeler.
About halfway through the season average here through about 1/2 of basketball. Abels on the left side on the exchange. Puts it up, back over to Holderman. It goes over to Vandervoort. Vandervoort looking to drive. Vandervoort to the basket, scores again, and Vandervoort's been really the player that's got this Butler team going on offense and got them in the game.
Absolutely. Currently leading the Aviators 11 points. Nice there for Sam Reynolds to get this back here and give the Jackets the 2-point lead.
Yeah, and that balance has shifted away a little bit now for Sidney, but the lead scorer, Sam Reynolds, staying true with 9 points now, and the lead scores for each team kind of battling it out here with a 2-point Sidney lead with 90 seconds to go till halftime. My name is Brandon Coburn. Alongside me, Michael Laws. We're happy to have you here on NKTelco Sports. Tuesday night Miami Valley League action. Rusk with the basketball on the inside, kicks it out to Holderman. Holderman on the left side. Holderman looking to move the offense here. Gets it down on the inside. Abels is picked off by Sam Reynolds. Reynolds directing traffic up ahead. Vordemark, full head of steam, and it's a block there on Holderman, and Vordemark will shoot 2.
Yeah, nice read there by Sam Reynolds off of that pass to be able to create that and send, and also nice hustle from Sidney to get down to the court and draw the foul there for Vordemark, send him to the line.
And Holderman was wanting a charge call there, but he was nowhere near set. So good call by the official there as Vordermark cannot connect on the first one. Vordermark with 4 points. Again, he had his season high 33 against Piqua just a couple weeks ago.
And that Piqua's litmus test there for both of them. And Vordermark makes the second there, bringing his total to 5.
1 minute to go here. Oliver up ahead. Goes over to Rusk. Up ahead, patience here by the Butler offense here. And trailing by 3. And cutting Rusk in the corner. Over to Oliver. Over the left side. Over to Oliver. Some severe patience here for Butler. They get it to Abel on the inside. They try to get it to Holderman. It's picked off by Reynolds. Up ahead to Jace Daniel. Daniel to the basket. Scores. Counted and one. Jace Daniel gets a big bucket for Sidney.
Sam Reynolds with the last 2 real creative turnovers there for Sidney. He has been all over the court, especially defensively, and be able to find Daniel there and get him to go to the line here and get an old-fashioned 3-point play here.
5'11" sophomore Jace Daniel at the line as that foul going to go against Holderman. That's his second.
Daniel's been doing a nice job here filling in for the normal starter Azon Steele. So he's been coming up big and filling the shoes quite nicely.
Free throw no good there. Vandervoort quickly up ahead. Kicks it out. 3-pointer from the corner at the horn is no good, as Daniel actually have a couple seconds to put something up. I don't think he got it off in time.
Oh.
It wouldn't have mattered anyway. Wouldn't have counted. So a 25-20 Sidney Yellow Jacket lead at halftime over the Vandalia Butler Aviators. We'll step aside, come back with the second half of action. Here next on NKTelco Sports.
We are here and here and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is a job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Welcome back to the Hive here at Sidney High School. It's halftime between the Sidney Yellow Jackets and the Vandalia Butler Aviators. After 2 quarters of play, the Sidney Yellow Jackets hold on to a 25-20 lead over the Vandalia Butler Aviators. Let's take a look at our first half numbers, brought to you here by Mr. Michael Laws.
Yeah, for the Aviators, they were 5 for 9 from 2-point range, 2 for 9 from 3-point range, 3 for 5 from the free throw line. 6 rebounds, and team turnovers was 4. Their scorers are Abels has 5 points, Oliver with 2 points, Vandervoort, their leader, with 11 points, and Holderman with a free throw. For Sidney, 2-point range, they were 10 for 16 from the 2-point range, 0 for 6 from 3-point range, 5 for 7 from the free throw line, 9 total team rebounds and 4 team turnovers. Their current leading scorer is Sam Reynolds with 9 points. Miles Vordermark has 5. Julius Spradlin with 2. Mitchell Davis with 3. Jace Daniels with 4. And Jai Foster Wheeler with 2.
Yeah, and it kind of been, a really kind of a dry start offensively. We saw some balance from Sidney early, but we kind of saw the 2 lead scorers from each team in Tristan Vandervoort and Sam Reynolds take over for their respective teams.
Yeah, the tail, I don't think you're going to be able to stop Vandervoort or Reynolds. I think the tail of this game is going to be those secondary points, that second and third leading scorer is really going to, who's going to pick that up for either team. And right now, if you have to go with that, right now it's Sidney, because they currently have six players with points, with Butler only 4, and most of those going to Vandervoort. So, that's going to be a tail here, I think, is where's that extra scoring going to come from? Going to be a good story here in the second half.
These guys meeting for the 93rd overall time. Sidney trails in the series 50-42, but the 93rd all-time meeting between these two schools, as Vandalia Butler will stay in a zone like they did in the first half. And get it to Reynolds on the inside, and that is a great way to break his zone. Nice movement and an easy lay-in for Reynolds.
Absolutely. The way to start that for Sidney, they total opposite of the first half, where it took them a little while to get going here, and they got the first basket.
And Vandervoort is going to be fouled there by Reynolds. Couldn't quite hit the brakes there as Tyler Lee calls that foul.
Yeah, he said he was trying to hold off, I think, but referee, I agreed with that. Kind of leaned into him there and gives the ball back to the Aviators.
It's up top of the key to Holderman. They get it onside to Oliver. Back out to Abels. Abels penetrating on the inside, going up against Davis, and that was a nice take by Evan Abels, who's got 7.
Yeah, that's his first field goal, actually, or first 2-point field goal of the night. Everything else was a free throw or a 3, so the first time to drive the lane there and get a basket there from the field.
Spradling to Daniel, back out to Reynolds. Quick ball movement here by the Jacket offense as they sit in that zone. Do the Vandalia Butler Aviators.
Yeah, you had talked about the all-time series. These two teams, or these two schools, stayed in the conference. They were in the GWAC together and then made the move to the Miami Valley League together, so they get to keep this rivalry going.
Long in the corner there. Vordermark shot no good. Daniels, 2 attempts at it. At the putback, and cannot get it in there for Jace Daniel.
Yeah, he was wide open, especially on that rebound. Vordermark was marked, and Daniels just could not get it to go.
Vandervoort in transition, shot no good. Daniel with the rebound. Daniels had a nice game today.
Yeah, like I said, he's filling in nicely for Steele right now, because Steele's normally the starter, but Jace Daniel has stepped in and filled in nicely here for here to keep the Jackets here up by 5.
Goes up over to Abels, back over left side. 3-pointer for Vandervoort is no good. Goes up to Reynolds, back out to Jace Daniel. Daniel on the inside, nice pass to Vordermark. Got blocked though, and too bad that Butler stepped on the line.
Yeah, that would have been easy too there for Sidney. I'm a soccer guy, and that's an advantage call right there. If I'm doing soccer, he's like, let it go, man, and get the points. But we're not playing soccer, so that's the way it is. So
shot no good by Vordermark on the inside. Left side back to Abels. Down in the corner. Just back on the right side to Oliver. Oliver kicks it out. 3-pointer Holderman. Long, and Davis could not corral it, claiming that it was a tip by Oliver, but to no avail there.
Yeah, it's a good hustle there for both. But, yeah, that was a little off. That was, way off the mark there, unfortunately, for the Aviators on the 3 attempt. So, but they keep the basketball.
It's out to Abels, left side to Holderman. Holderman driving on the inside, off the glass, no good. Up ahead, Reynolds quickly loses the basketball. Up to Jace Daniel, and Jace Daniel goes shoot 2.
Yeah, no. Most everything going into the line has been they've not been able to set their feet and be able to get the block fouls. So no charges as of right now. Everything underneath's been a block.
Daniel at the line here, shooting 2. Cans the first free throw. 28-22 Jacket advantage. Daniel at the line, goes 2 for 2, and Jace Daniel again playing very well. The sophomore, really the lone underclassman besides Spradling that sees playing time here. And it's done a nice job tonight filling in, like you said earlier, Michael, for Azen Steele, and with 6 points.
Yeah, that's usually he's kind of that role. The normal 5 is normally Reynolds, Vordemark, Spradlin, and Davis, along with Azen Steele, but he's had to fill in. Nice move by Reynolds there.
And Sidney starting to gain some confidence here. We have a precision strip timeout. It's a full timeout for Vandalia Butler. We'll take it with them. 4:22 to go here in the third quarter. It's a 31-22 Sidney advantage over Vandalia Butler on NKTelco Sports.
Whether you do business from a corner store or a corner office, there is one asset your business cannot do without: the internet. Everything from sales and marketing, training and shipping, PR, HR, and R&D, your business relies on a fast, reliable, and secure connection. And now, it's more important than ever to partner with an internet provider you can trust. Get Flight Fiber for Business, backed by local tech support from NKTelco. Call today.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Back here on NKTelco Sports, out the precision strip timeout. It's a 31-22 Sidney Yellow Jacket lead over the Vandalia Butler Aviators, and you see Sidney kind of starting to take a little bit of control here.
Yep, they're starting to find their rhythm now, and Reynolds is kind of stirring the drink, and you got Vordemark and everybody else. And like I said, Jace Daniel has really stepped in and really filled in well here for the normal Azen Steele role. He normally comes in off the bench, but you don't normally. Now you got to go with him straight up, and been doing a very, very nice job. You got Foster Wheeler's been checking in, getting a couple points. So it's right now it's working well here for the Jackets. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Down in the backcourt, over to Vandervoort. Vandervoort going to face some double team pressure. Set through on the inside to Oliver. Oliver puts it in.
Yeah, they were trying to double team there and just left that open, and that's a risk you take. With that high pressure, it's been working for him for there, not that time, and bucket for the Aviators.
I want to keep calling Dion Oliver Devin Oliver, who played for the University of Dayton Flyers back when they made that Elite 8 run in 2014 under Coach Archie Miller. And Devin was a integral part of that team. Keep wanting to call Dion Devin.
I know, it does kind of roll off the tongue there, and they've been actually, the coach called him Donnie. They believe it was Donovan, but the coach is calling Donnie, and he asked us to put in Donnie, so that's what we've been calling him. So, but yeah, it exactly rolls off the tongue, and definitely some similarities in their play too.
Three-pointer shot no good by Miles Vordemark from the left wing here. 3:22 to go on that First National Bank Think First scoreboard. 31-24. Shot fake Abel on the inside. Just threw it up. Just threw up a prayer and made it.
Yeah, nice way off the window. He's been driving. You don't normally see that out of a big guy like that, but Abel's been driving, getting a lot of stuff on the inside. He can shoot from three. Has a three from earlier. Now a couple twos here in the his last trips up the floor.
Reynolds on the inside trying to isolate him, and Holderman going to get called for a foul. And Reynolds hit the deck hard, and he's going to get up. And I think their arms just got tangled there, and Holderman going to be called for the foul there. I think he just wrapped his arm around. And
yeah, it looked innocent, but man, he went down hard. You could hear it from up here. He looks like he's kind of shaking it off a little bit, but he's going to keep going here. So we'll see. Keep an eye on that and see if that will slow him down any.
Miles Bordemark says if it does slow down Reynolds, I'm going to take over this ball game. It's Miles Bordemark now with 7.
But yeah, those are your two normally that stir the drink there for the Jackets is Bordemark and Reynolds. And like we talked about, who's going to be that secondary scorer for either team trying to get that going. And Vandervoort being able to, their leading scorer, come up with another 2.
And Reynolds gets that right back, and Sam Reynolds says, that doesn't hurt. I think I'm going to go get another bucket here, and that's just what that senior does for this Sidney program.
Yeah, he seems to be, at the moment, okay, so hopefully that he was able to shake that off.
35-28, 2:04 to go here in the third quarter. Basketball in the corner. Back out to Oliver. Goes to the left side, goes over to right, who's entered the ball game for Holderman. Shot up, no good, and Vandervoort goes up, and he'll attract the 2-shot foul with 1:49 here to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, that's right now you're pretty decent on fouls right now, only 2 team fouls each. Not looking like anybody in real foul trouble for the Jackets, so that's good news for them right now.
First free throw, no good there for Vandervoort.
Yeah, the big thing you want to watch with that, especially, is just because of the depth of their bench, because they just don't really have that many to go to.
And Vandervoort hits that second free throw. Yeah, Spradling brings the basketball up. Spradling goes to the left side on the exchange to Reynolds. Reynolds back over to Miles Vordemark. Vordemark trying to drive on the inside. Vordemark to the basket. Might have got away with something did the Aviators. Oliver up ahead quickly. Oliver cutting the basket. Shot no good. Rebound down to Vordemark. Vordemark, baseball-style pass. Was tipped out of bounds. That might have been a wise play by Reynolds right there to avoid any fast break there.
Absolutely. I think that's actually good because you actually you get your defense set back there. That's good instincts there from Reynolds to create that, because then you get caught going back the other way. And yeah, I do agree with you. I think that was a great decision by him.
Julius Rusk in the lineup now. Rusk with the basketball goes over to Vandervoort. 1:06 to go here in the third quarter on that First National Bank Think First scoreboard. 35-29, Vandalia Butler ahead. Abel calling for the basketball over to right. Reynolds so close to picking off that pass. Vandervoort trying to get him on a weave to the basket, throws up the shot. Reynolds up ahead quickly. Spradling racing to that left side. Spin move. Oh my, what a play. Julius Spradling, that was beautiful.
Yeah, it's good for him. He would have been kind of cold. He only had the 2, and now, it always talked about how he always contributes in the shooting. I'm glad he'd be able to get that one, get up to 4 points now.
Vandervoort over to Rusk. Rusk kicks it out to Abel. Abel wide open, gonna fire a 3, got it. And Abel's wide open. He has a nice stroke from the outside, and he is in double figures now.
Nice stroke from a big guy like that. You don't normally, you look at him, you think he's going to be more on the inside, but he's been really stroking it nicely from 3.
Vordemark can't quite get that back, but Sidney is going to take a 37-32 lead into the fourth quarter against Vandalia. Butler will step aside, come back with the fourth quarter of action here next on NKTelco Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Back here in NKTelco Sports, a 37-32 Sidney Yellow Jacket lead over the Vandalia Butler Aviators. We'd like to remind you that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of boys high school basketball. Here in NKTelco Sports, you can watch the replay of this game Monday, February 13th at 5 p.m. and Saturday, February 18th at 8 a.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. And again, you can watch all Sidney home games, both boys and girls here this year on NKTelco Sports. Also various other schools with the key motion camera that you can watch every other game on. Every boys and girls home game. You can check out Jackson Center, Botkins, Russia. You can also, on the key motion camera, check out New Knoxville, Minster, and New Bremen as well. In our various other schools. Fort Laramie, Marion Local, Anna, New Walpock football in the fall, and also do Ohio Northern as well as Julius Spradling starts out the fourth quarter scoring here. Now it's a 7-point advantage for Sidney, Michael.
Last four points have belonged to him, so that's been good news here for Sidney to keep that spread out offense that you've got going on.
Abels, he's hot from three, and he cans a three from the left wing.
3 threes for him so far tonight, and man, he got a very nice stroke. Leave him open. He has been deadly.
3 threes for the forward, and Reynolds to the basket.
Now we got a chart.
Oh, and he's holding something down there, and he's in pain. And we're going to take a moment, step aside here in NKTelco Sports. 39-35, Sidney ahead of Vandalia Butler on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Back here in NKTelco Sports, seems that Sam Reynolds' spine just needs a little bit of a breather there, and it's okay.
Yeah, I think that caught him off guard. Kind of looking like he's not getting any, he's just sitting, so he's not getting any treatment. I think he just needs a breather, and that'll bring in Mitchell Davis into the lineup for the Jackets here for the time being.
And needed maybe breather for Reynolds here as we go to this last stretch on the inside. Vandervoort lays it in.
He has been great on those cut-ins and really slicing up the Yellow Jackets defense, and now cutting this lead to only 2 here for the Jackets. So going to be very, very interesting here in this last part here, this fourth period.
5-0 run here for Vandalia. Butler Spradling on the inside, stops that and scores. As we get a full timeout here from John Willoughby, we'll take it with them. It is a 41-37. Sidney leads Vandalia Butler here on NKTelco Sports.
Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County has a job for you. Grand Lake Health System has over 800 employees. Included is Joint Township District Memorial Hospital and multiple physician practices. And we're now hiring a variety of positions that fit all education and skill levels. Plus, you'll get a great benefit package offered to both full and part-time workers. Join this rewarding career and help your community in the process. Contact Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County for all your employment needs.
Back here on NKTelco Sports, out of the precision strip timeout is a 41-37 Sidney Yellow Jacket lead over Vandalia Butler, and Julius Spradling, Michaels, really picked it up here this fourth quarter.
He had only 2 points in the first half, but he's come up with six big points here so far, and he's really kind of given them kind of an extra dimension here to be able to keep this lead at 4 at the moment here, because Butler is, Vandervoort and Abels from 3 have just really kept the Aviators in this game, but Spradling's trying to keep them ahead here in this race here to the finish.
Abels on the right wing, shots no good, rebound down to Jace Daniel. 6 minutes to go here. Daniel trying to split the defense, shot is up, no good, rebound down to Abel. Gets the basketball tip, Oliver corrals it in the backcourt and will trot it up across the timeline. Side to Holderman, back to Oliver. You got to be aware of Abel. He want to shoot that 3. Sidney's looks like they're back in a zone when they are.
Yeah, they've kind of let off the aggressiveness. They had been double teaming quite a bit. Find Rusk in the middle off the mark.
And he commits a frustration foul there. Sidney trying to get a win here tonight. Vandalia Butler's taking both the freshmen in the junior varsity contest. Again, Sidney just trying to get back to 500. They are the leader in the Valley division of the Miami Valley League. Vandalia Butler second to last in that Miami division. They split into 2 tiers.
That's really weird because you got the almost similar records, but you're in 2 different spots in 2 different divisions the way it lays out. That's just the nature of the beast.
Left side to Reynolds. Reynolds goes back to Vordemark. Vordemark right side, Spradling. Back out to Jace Daniel. Daniel try to get it to Vordemark. It's going to stay Jacket basketball. 5:02 to go here and getting towards the end of the season. Sidney trying to claw back to that 500 mark as we're approaching, tournament draw here in about 3 weeks for the boys, and the girls in 2 weeks. It's crazy that we're saying that, but we're about to that point.
Yeah, you definitely want the momentum. You want the coach, a lot of it, it's what have you done with me lately? What have you done for me lately?
And there's a foul on Oliver. Grabbed the arm of Spradling. Good call there by the official. So that's going to be the 3rd team foul against the Aviators. Actually, the 4th team foul. Jack's going to stack 2 in the box, 2 in the corner. They get it to Davis. They try to run a back screen for Vordemark. They go on the right side to Jace Daniel. Slips through the lane to Davis, and the basket scores. Nice display of offense there by Sidney, and Mitchell Davis gets his 2nd basket of the ball game.
Yeah, he's doing nice filling in to come into that and taking the role of Reynolds here as he's kind of gave him a little bit of breather now that Reynolds has come back in, but he's filled in nicely and helping out to get the Jackets here, keep that lead.
Oliver, jump shot, gets that 2 right back. Dion Oliver with 6 now, and it's a 43-39 ball game.
Yeah, Butler hanging around.
Shot up, no good for Jace Daniel, but he'll attract the 2-shot foul. Sidney coached by 6-year head man John Willoughby, who before he came to Sidney was a longtime head coach at Houston High School for 30 years and many accolades there, won over 300 ball games there and made a state Final Four appearance in 2011. And very many good teams there through Houston. John Willoughby, well known around Shelby County for his many years there at Houston, the all-time win leader there of that program. Jace Daniel hits 2 free throws. He's up to 8 now. (45-39), officially halfway through this 4th quarter. And First National Bank Think First Scoreboard. My name's Brandon Coburn. Alongside me, Michael Laws. We're glad to have you here on NKTelco Sports. Abels takes it baseline. Interesting to see him take it baseline. You think every time he gets on the wing, he's going to shoot it now.
Right, yeah, and that's a good threat to have. I mean, you can stroke from 3, but, you can get him to bite on that and be able to drive now. And the good opportunity here to go to the free throw line and get 2 points back.
At the line here. Abel's first shot is good. And they cut the lead to 5. Looks at the line, shot's no good. Reynolds with the ball on the left side. Reynolds trying to drive on the inside, loses it. Abel takes it away. Vandervoort fouled there. Miles Vordemark tried to make a play there to swipe the basketball right back. That'll be the 15th foul against the Jackets. So both teams staying at 5 fouls.
Yeah, I was a little interested there, especially they kind of dropped into a zone and kind of Vordemark going into the pressure. I mean, you really don't need it quite yet. You know, you've got the 5-point lead and content, but comes in, gets the aggression there, and Vordemark with a foul. Now a 3 attempt. Got it.
Oh, Holderman with a big-time 3.
Yeah, his first 3, his actually first field goal of the game. Had a free throw earlier, but his first 3 of the game gives him 4 points.
And a 2-point game now with 3:07 to go here on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Reynolds on the inside, gets that back. Gets 2 of the 3 points back at least, and Sam Reynolds been nothing less than spectacular.
Yeah, it's going to be very, we'll see how Sidney reacts here on defense. They, like I said, they kind of settled into that zone that had been very, very aggressive earlier. But now setting into the zone, see what Butler can come up with.
Reynolds up to 17 now on the night. Rusk on the inside. Abel goes up and scores. And Abel's, how many has Abel's got tonight?
Oh, he is, I'll have to add 9, 10, he's 6, 15. He's at 18 points right now.
Him and Vandervoort have really led this team and have been over probably 80% of the offense here tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. It's really been kind of streamlined with Butler, and luckily Sidney's been able to get it there, and Reynolds off the couldn't make that happen.
Oh, and they're going to claim that Rusk traveled there, but Coach Holderman going to claim and say, hey, he didn't have possession of the ball when he fell.
Yeah, I think he wanted the foul on Vordemark because there was some little bit of contact there, but not happy about that, but gonna live with it.
Spradling with the basketball. 2 minutes to go here. 47-45, Sidney ahead of Vandalia Butler as Coach Willoughby wants to take a 30-second timeout. All timeouts this year on NKTelco Sports are brought to you by Precision Strip. We like to thank our sponsors here on NKTelco Sports. There are Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Copeland, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, the Minster Bank, Pratt Industries, New Knoxville Supply, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, and NKTelco. Our additional sponsors are Burt Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Huelsman Automotive, Park National Bank, Securicom, and St. Henry Bank. Keys to the game are brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Scoreboard sponsor, First National Bank. Our timeout sponsors, Precision Strip. Starting lineups, Emerson Copeland. And our player of the game, which Michael and I will select at the end of the game from Sidney, is brought to you, as always, by NKTelco. So coming out of the Precision Strip timeout, 1:59 to go here. It's a 2-point game. What seemed like Sidney was going to be in control. They had a lead by as much as 9. Butler's not gone away.
No, they have not. Vandervoort and Abels have really kept them in here. Reynolds off the drive, no, but nice rebound there by Spradlin.
Trying to keep it alive. Oliver gets the rebound. Oliver brings it across the timeline. Butler can take their first lead here in quite a while with a main 3-pointer. We'll try to tie the game here. Abel on the right side gets it to Rusk. Rusk back to Abel. Abel for the 3 and the lead. It's off the mark. Rebound down to Jace Daniel. See how late Butler decides to play this. We'll see how Sidney treats this possession. It's so varied by high school coaches how you handle this situation. Vordemark trying to attract contact there.
Yeah, I was a little surprised, no call there, but now creates a turnover and Butler can tie or take the lead here on this possession.
Each team's got 1 foul to give as we cross a minute to go. Vandervoort, top of the key. Vandervoort trying to drive, goes on the left side to Oliver. Butler trying to score an upset victory here over the Sidney Yellow Jackets. Sidney beat them 53-33 over at Vandalia Butler 2 months ago. Oliver shot fakes on the inside, trying to give her to Abel. That's going to be a foul against Vordemark. That's going to be the last foul for Sidney to give, the second against Vordemark. So Butler will be shooting free throws the rest of the way out.
Looks like Coach Willoughby wants a 30-second timeout, so look at the defense here and see how they're going to play this here.
Yeah, and an interesting look here, how you really, what you really do. How early do you go? You still got one foul to give. If you're Butler, you have to think in the back of your mind, if I make this shot, tie this game, I still got a foul to give, too.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's also going to be very interesting to see what kind of defense is set, because they've been aggressive with some double teams and stuff, but they've also gone into zone. And do you want to give up that three, because you've had Abels has been deadly from there, and is that something that you want to give up or not? So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how they play this out.
And they'll have it right under their own basket coming out of that precision strip timeout here on NKTelco Sports. 37.7 seconds to go here. Butler inbounding the basketball. And they're going to ask for a timeout. Holderman didn't like what he saw there right away. And Vandalia, Butler, Aviators are going to take a full timeout. We'll step aside with them. 37.7 seconds left. The Sidney Yellow Jackets lead the Vandalia, Butler, Aviators 47-45.
We are here. And here. And here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is a job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
Back here in NKTelco Sports out the precision strip timeout. It's a 47-45 Sidney Yellow Jacket lead over the Vandalia Butler Aviators. And interesting to see what the draw up is here from Vandalia Butler after taking the timeout.
Yeah, they saw something they didn't like, and Coach Holderman was in Vandervoort's ear when he came off. Evidently, he didn't do what he needed to do.
Reynolds trying to get a tip there. He tips it out of bounds. The purple and gold will retain possession here. And they'll run an out-of-bounds play from the other side as they get it into Abel. Back over to Rusk. They try to get something to Vandervoort. They get it out to Holderman. 25 seconds left. Backdoor cut on the inside. Vandervoort fouled going up. He'll shoot 2.
Yeah, couldn't get it. Couldn't stop them there and be able to get it on there, and they get a chance to tie this basketball game right here.
Vandervoort goes behind the back
on a free throw,
and it falls short. Again, you got to get the rebound here too if you're Sidney, if there's another miss.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's another thing. Butler can get that, if they get this rebound here, and they got the advantage of the bigs.
Shots up and good by Vandervoort. Butler probably got a foul here, trailing by 1 as Sam Reynolds will be fouled. And a 1-point lead, and Sam Reynolds will. That was the last foul they could give, so Butler's got a foul again.
Yeah, ball possession here for Sidney right now. Ball possession for Sidney. Name of the game here.
Gets into Reynolds. He'll be able to burn a few seconds off. And they got a foul now. As there's the foul. That's going to go against Holderman. They try to get that steal at first, and that's going to be Holderman's 4th.
Coach Holderman thought it belonged to somebody. I think he didn't want to charge to Holderman, I think, is what he thought the contact was.
Didn't want one of his starters to pick up his 4th.
Right, I think that was where he wanted to charge to the other player, but they added to there, and Reynolds able to nail that.
Reynolds cans that one. It's a 2-point lead, 48-46. Sidney with 13.3 seconds left. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. You'd think Coach Holderman probably used one here after this shot. Reynolds misses the free throw. Butler gets the basketball, and there's going to be a foul called on Reynolds.
Wow.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah. Wow.
And
He's pretty stunned, and I'm kind of stunned too. Why would you put yourself in that position? And I didn't think he was really near it, but hey, nonetheless, here we go.
Vandervoort 1-1 here situation still. His free throw too much. And Reynolds loses the basketball. It's going to be Butler basketball. And Coach Holderman's going to take a timeout. 6.4 seconds. We'll keep it here. It's a full timeout. All timeouts, again, brought to you by Precision Strip. And if Reynolds would have fell to the ground anyway, it would have been a travel.
Yeah.
So, I mean, one of the two there. They're lucky Vandervoort has went 1 of 3 in his last 3 free throws as well. But, yeah, an interesting foul call there. Reynolds tried to go after that one, but he's picked up his 4th. Interesting if you're Butler, do you go for the tie or do you go for the kill shot and win?
Yeah, that is a good thinking. I think you've got the depth, especially you've got the extra players. However, you know, some of them have not been executing. Your shooters are Abel and Vandervorst. I mean, that's really most of your out. You get a little bit from Dion Oliver as well, and you got 4 points from Holderman, but that's it. I mean, that's where you're putting that in, where, you know, you do have some foul trouble against Sidney with Reynolds with his 4th. But they've definitely had more spread out team play and more points here. So we'll see how they play it. So, but you definitely got the 3. I mean, you definitely got Abels as an ability. Vandervorst has hit one earlier. So did Holderman. So I mean, you got 3 viable options there.
And Coach John Willoughby is gonna take a timeout here before we inbound to talk about his defense. That'll be Sidney, each team has 1 timeout remaining here. It's a 48-46. It's a full timeout. Again, all timeouts brought to you by Precision Strip here on NKTelco Sports. And it's been a good one. It's been back and forth. Sidney's led pretty much the whole time, but you know, it's been tight throughout this game, Michael.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, you've definitely had that. Abels has been great, and Vandervorst has kept these Aviators in this game. You know, they've been able to have Sidney's come up with some, but Butler is able to come up with some answers as well. So definitely, this has been, even fight. We've got a 8-7 and 7-8, 6-5 in conference and 6-6 in the conference. And, this has been, even though one's at the top and one's at the bottom of the division, it's definitely been a little bit of a slugfest. And let's see who we're in the title fight here, and we'll see what if we got a knockout shot in here or not. We'll find out.
Sidney trying to stay in the lead in the first place in the Miami Valley League, as Holderman will be the inbounder. So again, here's your situation. 6.4 seconds left at 48-46. Sidney lead, Butler basketball. Holderman the inbounder. Looks like they want to get it into Vandervoort. It's tipped by Spradling. It ticks 0.4 of a second off.
Yeah, great defense by Spradlin. And then Butler will take their final timeout.
Which is interesting that you take it now. You think you keep it if you know you're in trouble.
Right, that's what I would have thought, but they want to put all their eggs in this basket here. So, but maybe they feel they've got the opportunity, so maybe they can draw something up here. But that pressure defense from Sidney has really worked well when they've had active hands. Reynolds has been great. Spradlin's been great. Vornemark's been able to come up with a couple turnovers, so they can definitely cause some havoc here. So it's going to be very, very interesting.
So 6 seconds now, a 2-point lead for Sidney. Butler will take the basketball out. No fouls to give here if you're Sidney. They'll put Spradling on the ball. Again, it'll be key to force Butler away from the basket as well here, as Holderman will be the inbounder.
Wow.
They call a timeout the last second.
Wow. This is very strategic here. I'm telling you.
icing these guys.
Yeah, well, we ain't got nothing left, so this is it. This will be the last one, because we ain't got nothing either way. So unless we get into overtime, but then that might happen. So who knows? But
it's interesting. Again, we're saying this is probably going to be the last play, unless it's a 2-point shot, or a foul shot. But, it's interesting because say they would have hit a quick shot, you would have maybe wanted to call a timeout to set something up for a full court play or something. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing is if Butler can able to get a 3, you don't have a safety net right now. So not trying to play devil's advocate here, but with the ability for them to do that, can they? He's taking the chance that he thinks he can be able to play that defense and be able to take that opportunity away. So my guess is he's saying nobody gets Abels loose and nobody gets Vandervoort loose. Those are probably or Holderman. So if you're going man-to-man, those are your 3 main threats from the 3-point line.
All our timeouts used here, so we know we're not going to be interrupted by that. So here we go.
Precision Strip's unhappy. They definitely got their money's worth tonight. So
here we go. They get it into Rusk. Rusk down below scores. We're tied. Border mark up ahead quickly. Reynolds at the horn. Off the mark. We're heading to overtime. 48-48. We're knotted up as we head to an extra period. Julius Rusk got loose. We're tied up. Going to overtime. We'll step aside. Come back with the overtime period here next on NKTelco Sports.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Overtime here on NKTelco Sports as we put 4 minutes on the clock, and we're going to play some extra basketball to decide this one. And after all those timeouts, we get a Julius Rusk layup to tie it.
Yeah, coming from the freshman and his first points of the night, and no bigger ones than you can have to that.
So we'll have 4 extra minutes possibly to decide this one here. Sidney came in the fourth quarter with a 5-point lead, could not hold on to it. A last-second layup by Julius Rusk to tie was the decision by Coach Holderman, and it pays off to at least extend this game as they try to pull an upset on the Jackets.
Yeah, this should fly a little bit. We only got 1 timeout from each, and then it's a continuation. Got 18 fouls for the Jackets and 7 for Butler here, so that's a continuation. So this should we're going to see how this flies here, because this should go by pretty quickly.
Reynolds on the inside got that ball taken away, but they're going to call a foul on Vandervoort. Going to say he held him on the backside, and it'll be a 1-and-1 opportunity for the do-it-all man Sam Reynolds with 18 points tonight.
He has been all over and just doing what that senior does. Been all over the court defensively and offensively, and try to get the lead here in overtime.
Reynolds cans the first one. And again, Sidney I don't think Butler tied it that whole second half. Sidney had been leading the whole time. Then Russ gets that basket with 3 seconds left. And, hey, no better time to be tied than at the end of the game, I guess. So.
But, yeah, we're gonna see what kind of leadership we got here from from Sidney here to try to be able to kind of take control of this. You're shorthanded, but they've been hanging in here and see if they can be able to get this knockout punch here after the overtime's over.
They get it to Rusk on the inside, and he gets a quick response, and Julius Rusk, the freshman, rises to the occasion.
Yeah, 4 points the last 2, the one to send it to overtime, and the first basket here for the Aviators here in overtime, and we're tied at 50.
Vordemark gets a shot fake. He goes on the inside, kicks it out to Jace Daniel to Mitchell Davis to Reynolds. Vordemark on the left side. 2:36 to go here in overtime. First National Bank thing for scoreboard. Reynolds' shot's no good. Tips out to Spradling, though. Back out to Vordemark. Vordemark back out to Spradling as Coach Willoughby calls out an offensive set to run here. Vordemark going to give Spradling a high ball screen here, maybe. Oh, call it off. They give it out to Vordemark. Vordemark back out to Jace Daniel. Daniel trying to drive on the inside. Gets that ball stripped away by Vandervoort. Vandervoort losing it in the lane up to Rusk, who scores, and Julius Rusk 6 points now, and Vandalia Butler takes the lead.
Wow, this is their first lead of the game. It has been, with the exception of maybe early, I believe there was a free throw, but that was about it.
But Vordemark, yeah.
Vordemark answered.
Yeah, Vordemark ties it back up, but Julius Rusk, the freshman, the last 6 points here for Vandalia Butler. You're so concerned about stopping Vandervoort and Abel, who have been the two go-getters on offense. And Rusk, who played in the junior varsity contest earlier, has now got Miles Vordemark attention.
Yep, and that's something else to think about.
Holderman from the corner, shot no good. Rebound tipped out to Reynolds. Run out here maybe for Sidney. Reynolds to the basket, got it and one. Sam Reynolds will have a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play, and Sidney's got the lead back.
Yeah, he just took control of this. And by that injury, hitting the floor hard earlier, and it seems to be recovering here and gets a chance to take a three-point lead here in overtime.
Reynolds dips these fires, cannot connect. So 22 now in the night for Reynolds. He's got 4 fouls, too. That's something to be noteworthy of you for Sidney. You need to get this. Cannot let this game extend any longer. Abel, shot fakes, takes the jumper, got it. And these teams are just trading blows in this overtime period.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they're going back and forth. Abel's normally from 3, but stepped inside the arc and just nailed that and has been gone inside, outside. And they're leading their leading stud on their side, along with him and Vandervoort. Taking it on here with Sam Reynolds right now, leading it with for the Jackets.
Now becomes a possession game. Let's see how patient the Sidney Yellow Jackets are here. Butler trying to get the basketball. Oliver breaks it up. Who's going to get it? It's going to be they're going to call it jump. Arrow favors the Aviators. I didn't know if there was mutual possession for long enough to call it jump.
Yeah, they put it. It was loose. It was on the feet of Vordemark, and Dion Oliver really went in there hard, almost had it.
Vandervoort going to track it down in the backcourt. Vandervoort pressured by Spradling. Vandervoort brings up across the timeline. Abel in the corner. Abel brings out the right wing back to Holderman. Holderman at the city logo. Looks like Butler's going to try to end this one here. Holderman going to hold for the last shot. Holderman try to get it to Vandervoort, and Coach Holderman is going to use his timeout. 6.9 seconds remaining here as a precision strip timeout's taken.
Well, I think he's going to seize this for the last shot. And basically, I think he wants it, we're going to take the last shot and make sure it either goes or not, and not give Sidney a chance to stay in this at all. Using their timeout pretty wisely here.
And again, it's 6.9 seconds, tied at 54 here on NKTelco Sports. Brandon Coverman, Michael Laws bringing you the action here. And if you hadn't joined us, it's been a Sidney lead the whole time, and pretty much until Julius Rusk hit that basket with a couple seconds to go. And then Butler takes the lead, Sidney ties it, Sidney takes the lead, Butler ties it back. It's been a crazy kind of boxing match here, so to speak.
Oh, yes. And he's been the one that Julius Rusk has really stepped it up. Like I said, it's normally been Abels and Vandervoort, a little bit from Holderman and Oliver. But, finding him, and he has really stepped up. The freshman's really stepped up and really been able to get the Aviators into this and keep them going here, and was able to extend the game here. So. And now they get a chance to win it here with this last shot if they can make this happen.
Holderman, the inbounder. They try to get it in. They get it into Vandervoort. Vandervoort trying to get a winner for the Butler Aviators. He walked. He traveled. That's a great call there by the official. And the right one right there.
Oh, that wasn't even close. So
he took about 5 steps there, and let's see if Sidney gets the inbound in and they take the timeout.
Yeah.
They take the timeout here.
Yeah, Willoughby wants to gonna use it. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure if they carry over into another period or not. If they don't, then that's the smart thing to do there. So use it or lose it. So make sure you get the chance to do that here. The only thing is you're going to be going full court here. Can you find the opening and get a nice shot?
Yeah,
that's going to be very interesting. Can you find that opening?
Yeah, if you can catch it at half court, you can probably get 2 dribbles in before you have to get it off.
Yeah, you do have a little bit of time. You got 3 seconds, so it's not impossible. But the catch is at least got to be at midcourt, at least, I would think. And to be able to create that, and then can you get enough separation and enough opening? But the one thing that's hurt Sidney tonight, they have not been able to hit a 3 at all tonight. So anything they've gotten has been inside the arc. So, there has been no 3 that they've been able to hit tonight. So that's not good news for if you're thinking that from distance-wise. But, if you can get it inside the arc and find the time within this 3 seconds, make it happen, you got the shot. So here we go.
Bordemark the inbounder, 3 seconds to go. Sidney trying to pull off a full-court miracle here. Reynolds gets the basketball, loses it. Russ got the horn for the win, off the mark, and we go to double overtime.
Wow.
So 54-54. As we step aside, we'll put another 4 minutes on the clock. Overtime not enough to decide this. We're not enough at 54. We'll be back here next on NKTelco Sports.
Whether you do business from a corner store or a corner office, there is one asset your business cannot do without: the internet. Everything from sales and marketing, training and shipping, PR, HR, and R&D, your business relies on a fast, reliable, and secure connection. And now, it's more important than ever to partner with an internet provider you can trust. Get Flight Fiber for Business, backed by local tech support from NKTelco. Call today.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
36 minutes has not been enough to decide this contest between Vandalia, Butler, and Sidney as we put another 4 minutes back on the clock. And it's been a great one here.
Oh, this has been a nice slugfest here, evenly matched record-wise. And looks like talent-wise and even single overtime can't decide it. We're going to doubles here.
And Julius Spradling with the basketball to start double overtime here as Jace Daniel with it now. Gets it tipped away by Vandervoort. He straddles the baseline and he goes to the basket, and Vandervoort scores and gets the contact to go with it.
Nice read there by Vandervoort to be able to create that and now take potentially take a 3-point lead here, which I believe will be the Aviators' biggest of the night if they can make it happen.
And they do. Vandervoort with 3 now in the double overtime period. The first 3 points as Sidney now again facing its largest deficit of the night.
Still got some time here. It's 3:37. We're very early here in the overtime, so something to keep a note of just to be sure. Reynolds with 4 and Vardamark with 3.
Shot no good. Who'd it go off of? It went off of Daniel before it touched Oliver on the baseline. So it'll be Butler basketball. Now this is the biggest momentum that Butler's had all night.
They've hung around and then finally took it, able to get that last basket to tie this game, and now currently have a 3-point lead and be able to could extend it here on this trip.
Abel with the basketball, trying to get it to Oliver. He gets it to Oliver. It's a ball screen. And Vandalia Butler can afford to be patient here. Let some clock drip here. As Abel gets it in the corner. Guarded by Davis. Gets it out to Rusk. Rusk back out to Vandervoort to Holderman. And again, a patient possession here by Butler.
Oh, you're in no hurry. I mean, you have no shot clock to deal with. You can pick out a good chance and play some catch here and really eat some clock. And that's what they're doing right now, and they're doing a good job of it here so far.
And they've ate up about 45 seconds of clock on this possession as Abel gets a shot fake, and Sam Reynolds putting his hands behind his back saying, I'm not fouling.
Well, that's a risk for him right now. He's at 4, and do you want to go out on that? And he's trying not to, and unfortunately, he has to let him go if he wants to stay in this game.
And Oliver scores, gives the Aviators a 5-point lead as Reynolds was trying to avoid fouling there. On the inside, and one there for Mitchell Davis. A huge free throw coming up here for Mitchell Davis.
That'll get him to 7 points and a nice feed from Vortemark to be able to read that. Didn't have the option, got underneath to Mitchell Davis and be able to cut this down here. So cut this to 3 and hopefully get it to 2 here with the free throw.
The 6'4" junior with a ginormous free throw coming up here. Trying to get the Sidney Yellow Jackets back within 2, and he cannot even hit the iron.
Way short, and that will just give the ball to Butler off the mist, altogether. Wouldn't even have, didn't even get a chance for a rebound as it didn't even hit the rim.
Jai Foster Wheeler, and you got to assume this is the defense and offensive switch protecting Reynolds here as Foster Wheeler's going to foul Holderman, who will shoot 2 free throws as both teams now in the double bonus the rest of the way out. So we'll be shooting 2 every time the rest of this contest in double overtime.
Yep, that'll kind of slow it down. That kind of a built-in timeout in its own. You only got the 1.
You see Reynolds check right back in and trying to protect Reynolds with those 4 fouls as Foster Wheeler will head out. And you mentioned that depth earlier, and now you get into a double overtime situation where you got a foul, and that hurts Sidney in a way, and they trail by 4.
Absolutely. You got Reynolds with 4. You got Vortemark with 3. So you don't have a lot of fouls to give, at least at the top of the lineup. So
Spradling on the inside attracts contact, and they'll shoot 2.
Just be able to create that. So he's coming up big, actually. Julius here came up late here at 6 big points here in the second half, and hopefully gets them here in the overtime.
Spradling at the line. Fires and connects on the first free throw as Foster Wheeler will come back in to do the offense and defensive switch that you'll probably see often here with Sam Reynolds.
Yep, because you just don't have the fouls to give with him, unfortunately. If you can get an offensive set, you can do that.
Missed free throw there from Foster Wheeler, and Foster Wheeler gives the foul. That's going to be his 3rd. And 2 free throws coming up here. Oliver to the line. And again, this is a game, if you've been tuning in the first half, it's been controlled by the Sidney Yellow Jackets, and Vandalia Butler didn't tie until 3 seconds to go in regulation.
Yeah, were never in the lead until then. So, but yeah, you're going to definitely see that exchange between Foster Wheeler and Reynolds here on these offensive sets.
Oliver at the line, hit the first free throw, and he cans the second one. Oliver gives Vandalia Butler a 6-point lead. 1:34 to go here in the second overtime. Vortemark going to drive on the inside and score. Miles Vortemark scores quickly, and Sidney going to press here. Let's see how quickly they decide to foul. They get into Rusk at half court, and Vortemark fouls quickly. That's going to be his 4th.
Yep, he's the other one now and going to be in issue between him and Reynolds right now. Have 4 fouls, and you only got the 3 on the bench, so who do you go to? It's been either, you have Foster Wheeler.
Yes, Russ cans the first free throw. And it's interesting to see Sidney with the lack of depth and some of the foul trouble that they have to foul as early as they have been.
Yep, they hung around here for a while, but going there, and the freshman coming up big with 2 free throws.
And Rusk has played fantastic. He had 10 in the JV game earlier, and he stepped up in that 8 in the overtime period. And fourth quarter, as Butler gets a steal, I'm going to call a travel. And I don't know if he had...
He kind of bounced off the basketball. He kind of fell on top of it.
Yeah.
And I think he was trying to get a timeout, but the ref had said he had traveled beforehand. So
that would have been a good timeout if they would have got it, but they didn't. Vordemark gets a shot fake, trying to trade for 2 again, and Vordemark scores. Miles Vordemark with the Baker-Stutzman 13 now.
Yeah, great work cutting this to 4, but now it opens up, and this pressure, and now it's got Butler in the front court.
Vandervoort saying, come foul me. Rusk on the inside. The freshman wisely pulls it out. He's got to make a decision. Reynolds knows he can't foul.
It's not him. He can't do it. Somebody else does.
And Jace Daniels, smart one to do it. That's only his 2nd foul. Be interesting to see, if Coach Willoughby would go into a bench to look at like a Sam or Ethan New. Or actually, he's got Carter.
He's got Van Hook, Marlowe, and New on the bench that he can go to. Have not seen any time yet, so I'm not sure if he'll go that way or not. First one by Holderman was good.
And he'll miss the second one. Holderman, as the Jackets work it up ahead quickly. They got to make something happen. Vordemark, shot in. Miles Vordemark keeping this team in the ball game, and it's a precision strip timeout. And actually, as soon as I say that, you see Ethan New come off the bench, and he's gonna come in to probably be a fouler along with Jai Foster Wheeler.
That would be my guess. The big thing, you're gonna need those fouls, and you want the foul so you can get the stoppages, so you can get Reynolds back in. So, because right now your fouls are with Vordemark and Reynolds both with 4 fouls.
Yeah, and
you have some to give, but
and it's a 3-point ball game, and you get a stop. I mean, 2 free throws. And I'm not a huge trading 2-for-1 type fan, with fouling, and you hope they miss a free throw and you hope you're guaranteed going to go score. I'm generally not a huge fan of that, but it's worked out here for Sidney to at least get back in the ballgame when they trail by as much as 6 in the second overtime period.
Yeah.
They've crept back in.
Right now it's worked for them, and like you said, News into the lineup to basically give you the fouls. That's pretty much what they're there for. So you got Foster Wheeler, looks like Spradlin, Daniels, and New, I believe, for your and Mitchell Davis looks like in the lineup at the moment here for the Jackets. And those who you got. So
Butler has a timeout here if they need it. They get into Vandervoort quickly. Spradling will foul in the backcourt. And as we quickly see Vordemark and Reynolds, who both have the 4 fouls, get up off the bench quickly. And
Spradlin has a lot of fouls to give, so if we need him later, he'll have them. That was only his first, so Butler will send all 4 back here.
As Vandervoort, 2 free throws here. Sidney hoping they can at least get 1 miss as a win. I mean, any miss, is a win, but you're hoping they at least split at best, for you. And
yeah, right now you're at a 4. You got 29.4 to go, so you have enough for a 2-possession game here, even with 5, which you did get. So you got a 3 and a 2.
Vandervoort up to 23 points. Daniel fires a 3. It's well short. And now, again, some quick subs going to have to be made as New and Foster Wheeler bolt off the bench. And
so he's going to take he's going to take Vortemark and Reynolds out because of the fouls. So hopefully they can trying to save him for that possession. He tries to find Abel in the front court, and he does.
Yep. And he knows he's going to be contacted quickly. And there's Reynolds and Vortemark coming off the bench. If Butler can a couple free throws here, they'll make it a 3-possession game as Abel heads to the line. Him and Vandervoort have combined for 43 of the 68 Butler points.
That was Mitchell Davis on the foul. That will be his third.
Abel cannot connect, so again, that's a break for Sidney. If you can hit a 3 here, which they've struggled from the outside tonight.
Yeah, they have not hit a 3 tonight at all, so that they're going to have to find it if they can here. If Abel can get this, gets the roll, makes it a 6-point game.
Daniel back to Vortemark. Vortemark fires a 3 off the mark. Davis puts it up and in to keep this game alive. We get it into Oliver, and a foul by Spradling is not going to really matter here now, as it looks like the Vandalia Butler Aviators, after trailing the whole second half until 3 seconds to go.
1 point, 1.8, not going to be a lot of time here. Pretty much you get one here. I think this is pretty much done. And got it. So, and nice one for Oliver, Dion Oliver. 11 points for him. I'm going to try to make it 12 here.
And 2 free throws drained there by Oliver, and they'll chuck the pass down in the Sidney student section, and that'll be a turnover, as that'll end the game there, as Sidney student decided to shoot it and thinking maybe the ball would be down there, but it's going to be down here on the other end, as that'll be your ball game. It'll be a 71-65 final here, as Oliver will let the time run out, and it took 8 extra minutes to decide this one, but it is a 71-65 final for Vandalia Butler as they come back and defeat the Sidney Yellow Jackets here. We'd like to thank our sponsors here on NKTelco Sports. And we'd like to remind you here on NKTelco Sports that our replays are, we'd like to remind you that NKTelco Sports and sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of boys high school basketball on NKTelco Channel 3 and HD on Channel 503. You can catch the replays of this game on Monday, February 13th at 5 p.m. and also Saturday, February 18th at 8 a.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. Again, I'd like to thank our sponsors here tonight. They are Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Copeland, Carriage Works, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, the Minster Bank, Pratt Industries, New Knoxville Supply, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, and NKTelco. Our keys to the game are brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Scoreboard sponsor, First National Bank. Timeout sponsor, Precision Strip. Starting lineups, Emerson Copeland. And our player of the game, which we'll bring from Sidney here, is brought to you, as always, by NKTelco. Our additional sponsors are Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Deckman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Park National Bank, Securcom, and the St. Henry Bank. And our scores after quarters, it was 12-11 after one quarter. Sidney ahead. Sidney was ahead 25-20 at halftime, 37-32. They were ahead at the end of the third. Tied after the fourth quarter at 48 and going into the overtime period, and they were tied 54 at the end of the first overtime. The final ends up being Vandalia Butler 71, Sidney 65. It took 2 overtimes to decide it, but the Vandalia Butler Aviators, after trailing the whole game, come from behind and get the victory here tonight, and in impressive come-from-behind fashion over the Sidney Yellow Jackets. The Jackets will drop to 7-9 on the season, and 6-7 in Miami Valley play. They'll be in action at Xenia on Friday, and Butler will be back in action at Troy on Friday at 9 and 7. So let's take a look at our stats here, brought to you by Mr. Michael Laws.
Yeah, for Butler, 18 for 33 from 2-point range, 4 for 16 from 3-point range, 19 for 27 from the free throw line, 12 rebounds and 4 turnovers. And then for Sidney, 2-point range, 26 for 43, 0 for 13 from 3-point range. Free throws, 13 for 19, 21 total team rebounds, and 11 total team turnovers. A lot of scoring, but basically the big scorer for Butler was Van der Vorst, and then the leading scorer right now for Sidney would be Sam Reynolds, leading things 8. 22 points for Sam Reynolds. Got Miles Vordermark and Julius Spradlin and Mitchell Davis, Jace Daniels, and Jay Foster Wheeler all getting on the board there. So it's unfortunate for Sidney going double overtime, but couldn't come up with it here. But it is what it is, and great effort here for Butler and getting the win.
Before we leave here tonight, I'd like to name our NKTelco player of the game. Here for Sidney, and who you got?
I'm going with Julius Spradlin because those big second half points really, stirred the drink for them and really did well. So I believe we're going to go with Julius Spradlin tonight. So that was really his second half play really kind of stirred it for Sidney and almost was able to pull it out, but unfortunately, unfortunately for them, and a big win for Butler, so good for them, and go from there. But a 71-65 win for Butler. But player of the game brought to you by NKTelco, Julius Spradlin for the Yellow Jackets of Sidney.
So a 71-65 double overtime victory for Vandalia. Butler here for the last time from Sidney High School. He's Michael Laws. I'm Brandon Coverman. We'll catch you here next time on NKTelco Sports.